Hello and good morning, students. This is your student exploration for home instruction involving the lunar eclipse. I wanted to give you a few news and notes about filling out this form on the Google Classroom. Anytime you see a yellow box here, that is where you're going to write in your answers. So make sure that as you're filling this out that you're hitting all of the yellow boxes to make sure that you're answering all the questions so that you'll get full credit. These first 3 questions should be done prior to using the gizmo. Again, these are based off your prior knowledge. These are for completion only. We just want to know what you know from personal experiences or from a former teacher. So please let us know what you're thinking before you start the gizmo. I'm going to go ahead and read you this article. Reading. As you know, the moon does not give off its own light. The moon gets light from the sun that is then reflected back to Earth. As the moon revolves around the Earth, most of the time, the moon does not move into the Earth's shadow. Since the Earth is much bigger than the moon, it has a much bigger shadow. When the moon moves into the Earth's shadow, we have a lunar eclipse. During a lunar eclipse, hardly any of the sunlight reaches the moon. The moon becomes very dim. You might wonder how the moon gets any sunlight when it's hidden in the Earth's shadow. The answer is that the Earth's air bends some of the sun's light onto the moon. So even when the moon is eclipsed, it is not completely blacked out. It looks a very dull red. A lunar eclipse lasts much longer than a solar eclipse. This is because the Earth's shadow is much wider than the moon's shadow. The moon takes a long time to pass through the shadow. During the eclipse, the entire moon is in the shadow for most of the time and can be seen from any part of the Earth that is having night at that time. The Earth's shadow also has an umbra and penumbra. A partial lunar eclipse happens when the moon is in the penumbra, and a total lunar eclipse happens when the moon is fully in the Earth's umbra. Though a lunar eclipse lasts a long time, most of it is spent as a partial lunar eclipse. So just to give you a reminder of how to get to the gizmo, I'm going to go into my Google and type in Explore Learning. And the first thing that's going to come up on the Google is login. And you are going to enter in your code just like we did before. So this is what the teacher view looks like. But yours will pop up and this header will be green. And it will say your science class. So you're going to click on that. Me, I've already looked at eclipses, so mine will be in my recently viewed. And when we click on it, it should look like this. Eclipse. And all you have to do to activate it is click on it, and then it will become the flash player. So if I want it to play, I'm gonna click play, and you can see the moon is moving around as it revolves around the Earth. Down here on the right, you can see the sun from the Earth. So this is you standing on the Earth. I can drag the moon around, and you can see all the phases at the bottom, but this is when we actually get an eclipse. And you cannot see the sun from Earth. And then I drag it in. Here's the penumbra. Here's the umbra. You can see how much darker the moon is in the umbra. And you can see when it's in the penumbra. And then you can see when it's not being blocked. So of course, simple controls play, super fast forward. If you wanted to stop, just press pause. If you wanted to go back to where it was originally, you can just hit reset. And these are the simple functions of the gizmo. So for activity B, this is where you will start using the gizmo. The gizmo is on the assignment on Google Classroom. When you click play and watch the moon from the Earth, How does this view change? Can you find the time when the dull red moon appears? Although this assignment is going to be completed at home on your Chromebook, if you have any questions or become stuck, remember we have office hours from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And if you need help outside of those times, remember that you can contact us via email or through the Google Classroom. So feel free to let us know if you need any help, and we're always here to help you when we can, so make sure you let us know. And remember, wash your hands.